I turned 30 this year, so now I'm supposed to go outside and get some exercise, keep myself moving, but it's cold out. I don't really want to go outside. So I thought maybe there's a way to make it so that I don't have to. So that's what I did. Back at the beginning of the pandemic, my team transitioned to working from home full-time. This meant that while I didn't have to commute to the office anymore, which is great, I wasn't getting the regular walk around the office exercise that I normally was. I don't think work from home is going anywhere anytime soon. And so essentially I need to find a way to get the exercise that I used to get from home. Now, unfortunately, I live in North America in Minnesota, which is one of the highest temperature ranges from the coldest it gets to the hottest it gets in the entire country, entire continent, really. And so it's really hard to find a good time to go for a walk outdoors in nature. So ideally, I'd like to find a way to get exercise in an indoor, climate-controlled environment. Here's what I came up with. So one of the problems I needed to solve with this system was noise. So I wanted to make sure that not only was I not able to hear the treadmill as I walk on it, but also that the people I'm talking to aren't able to hear it either. So to solve the first one, I found noise-canceling earbuds. I can't hear it at all. It's really quite impressive. So now the second issue. I need to make sure that nobody's able to hear the treadmill while I'm walking on it. So that's where NVIDIA Broadcast comes in. So there are a lot of systems like this, a lot of systems that are designed to block out background noise or the vacuum or the kid or whatever it is. And NVIDIA Broadcast is the one that I found to work the best. Now, Discord has their own that's built in, and I think Teams and a lot of the other VoIPs do as well. But if you have a GeForce and NVIDIA video card that you can use with this software, I think it does a pretty good job. I did a bunch of research on treadmills when I first started this project, and I actually bought one of the cheaper treadmills that you'll find on Amazon for say $300-400. And this thing was decent. What I liked about it is how lightweight and mobile it was. I could carry it around, wheel it around, whatever. But the problem is, it has a max weight of 198 pounds, and while I'm under that, it would start to overheat if you used it at a high speed for long enough, even if you are under that threshold. So I ended up buying something a bit beefier. Honestly, I think there's value in spending real money on that which separates you from the earth, whether it be your bed or your shoes or your car or whatever it is. I think that same principle here applies for treadmills, and if you're going to spend money on such a project, I think it's worth putting a good portion of your budget into the treadmill. So this naturally brings us to the discussion about budget and money. So I've built now 4 of these sit-stand desks, these motorized desks, and I've used a couple of treadmills and a bunch of different audio solutions, and ultimately I've landed on what I'm going to put in the description just below the like button. Obviously, what you spend is going to depend on how you use your system, and you know how you use your system. For me, I have at least 2 monitors sitting on my desk, and I have wireless peripherals, my mouse, keyboard. I also have an audio interface that sits on my desk, and I put a little bit of weight on my desk, so I wanted a beefier desk surface, and that's why I went with the kind of mid-range IKEA countertop that you can get. I probably could have gone, half the price, something like that, for something a little uglier, but I like the way this thing looks, and it's able to handle the weight. As for the legs, it's definitely worth getting 2 motors, not 1. I'm linking the one that I got, and I think this was the easiest to hook up, and there's no wobble issues like I had in one of my others. Now, I know that you can buy these prepackaged kits that come with the legs and the surface as well. Those are nice in the sense that the screws and everything are going to be in the right place, and you don't have to really think about what's getting mounted where, because they map it all out for you. But if you ask me, I think it's better to buy the legs and the surface separately, and that way you can spend money on that which matters to you. The last thing I want to mention about this build is the biggest struggle that I ran into in dealing with this is the cord management. Fortunately, this is a pretty solvable problem. You essentially just need to buy some cable ties and longer cables and maybe even a power strip or USB hub. Basically anything that'll help you to keep those cords away from the moving mechanism. And not only that, but it's definitely worth it to buy some longer cords for your monitors or anything else that needs to be run to the top of the desk, because as you know, that desk is going to be going up and down, and you want to make sure that you have long enough cords so that things aren't pulling. It's my recommendation just to run a power strip to the under-mounted cord organizer, and that way you can plug everything on top of the desk into that power strip, and you don't have to deal with having super long cords running to outlets and all that mess. Thanks for watching, folks. Below the like button, you're going to find all of the links to the various products that I talked about throughout the video, and I encourage you to ask questions or to provide recommendations for future videos.